Alright, back in the garden, and I want to talk to you about planting onions. Last year I just had gotten my garden in, and it was July when I started planting, which is really late, but I thought, what the heck, I'm going to do it anyway. And I didn't have a fence around my garden, so the risk was high as far as critters coming in, and actually it wasn't that bad. I was kind of surprised. I had some turkeys and a couple deer, but they really didn't do any terrible damage. So, but to say that, I got my onion seeds in July planted in the garden, so I knew it would take a long time. So I waited, and they grew, but they're little, and you can use them if you want to when they're little. But I thought I'm just going to wait it out. So I waited through the whole winter. They did great. We have pretty mild winters here. We did have a huge snow, but it seemed to be okay. And so, but probably a couple of months ago, those seeds, those onions just really started popping, and I got some really nice purple onions. I still have a couple of them left in another bed that I'll be using, and I'll be taking those and using them. But today I wanted to show you that I'm going to plant some onion bulbs instead of seeds this year to see how they do. And somebody was asking me, where did you get your bulbs, because I can't find them anywhere. And I got them through a company called Stargazer, and they sent me like 2 boxes. See that? They're just full of different kinds of onions, and there's one in here too. It's already starting to come up. So we're going to plant those today, but first I want to prepare the soil. I have really good soil. I purposely get good soil, but I want to add to it today, and I'm going to add some compost from my compost pile, and we'll just mix it in. So, oh man, this is beautiful. We just had a huge rain a few days ago, and so the soil is just nice and rich and moist. I love it. It just smells so good. All the gardeners say amen. So anyway, we're gonna do it. So first I'm gonna set these down, and I'm gonna dump some mulch, and I also put some wood ash. I went up to our wood pile, and I got some ash from our burn this year. We actually did a couple of burns. Thank you, Mark. And I'm gonna pull out some of these things that are looking like they're gonna sprout. So I'm just gonna cover this, and see that? Get rid of these strawberry shoots, and dig it in like that. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna get this all done like that. Mix it really good. Oh, there's some more stick. I don't sift my compost. I just let things grow, and if I don't want them, I take them out. If because you put everything in your compost pile, and some of the stuff will sprout and start growing, but I don't sift through it before I put it on my garden. So I know some people do, but I don't. Probably because I'm just too lazy. But if the stuff starts sprouting and growing in the garden, sometimes I'll pull it out, sometimes I'll keep it. I have 3 probably squash plants that are growing in another part of the garden where the squash aren't growing. And I thought, what the heck, I'll just let it grow and see what happens. So I'll have to train it though and let it grow over the side. I love to grow vines up on trellises. I have several small trellises and one big huge ones for my squash. But I sometimes like to let the squash vines grow over the edge too. It's just kind of pretty to me to see that in a garden bed. So, okay, we've got our soil ready. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dig a trench. You want it pretty wide, not wider than the bulb. And you want it about 1.5 to 2 inches deep, just like that. And then I'm gonna get onion, stick it in there, and when you my cat's playing in the background on the tree. When you put the bulb in, when you put the soil back over it, you want the tip of the bulb showing. So if your hole's a little bit too deep, just do that. In fact, actually, if you're really gentle with the onion set, you could probably just poke it right down into the soil if your soil is real wet and moist. So I'm going to do that and just stick those right in there like that. And I'm going to plant white ones here. They're about 6 inches apart. I want to give room for them to really get big because I love big onions. It's great about onions because they start growing and you can pick them when they're small. You can pick them when they're big. So I'm going to do that. Do the white ones. Finish that row and then we'll start on this one. Now I'll do the red ones. The red ones. Don't you love a purple? Oh, I love the purple red onions. This one's got a little sprout on it already. That's cool. So make sure you put the sprout side up. That's the bottom. Just like that. Pretty cool. So there, got those. I'll put a couple more white ones. All right, and then one more row. We're gonna put yellow ones. I love a good yellow onion. You know, I've been recently taking onions from my other bed that are good size and slicing them, and I whip an egg up, and then I put some cassava flour or spelt flour, something like that that's either really low in gluten or no gluten at all. Cassava flour is great. And then I'll put them in the egg, slice them, put them in the egg, and then put them in the flour, and then fry them in avocado oil with a little bit of olive oil, and just fry them and do homemade onion rings. So good, so good. And if any of you know me, which I might talk about this sometime, my journey with cancer, overcoming cancer, one of the things my doctor wants me eating is onions. He said, eat lots of onions. So I could eat lots of onions. I love onions. So we're going to finish this up here. Put the yellow ones in. Pretty simple and a lot of fun to watch grow. I'm going to probably put some more leeks in too. I'm not sure. I have leeks in the other bed, and I have quite a few of them. And they're great as well. Really awesome in salads. So I'm going to cover these up. Now I'll probably hand water these a little bit just to help them get started. I've got a great sprinkler system, but as you can see, I don't know if you can see this right here, I've got 2 of these in the garden, but the stuff in the middle sometimes gets a little neglected on water. So in the evenings, even in the mornings, but mostly in the evenings, I'll come out and just take my hose and just spray the garden down. It's relaxing to me. It's not necessary, but I just like to do it, and the plants don't seem to mind. So anyway, that's my deal on onions today. I hope you have a good day. Happy gardening.